man.
Oh, what up, dude?
How you doing?
The beard is looking grizzly, man.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah.
Wow, that is grizzly right there.
That's right, man. That's what a couple months of quarantine will do for you.
I'm just gonna throw it out there and say that you took the job down there at UTEP, and it's the miners, and you're looking like a miner.
Well, I'm trying to fit the part for sure.
I like it, dude. It looks good.
Thank you.
I know you've been moving. I know you've been moving into the new house. It's got to be hot, just getting sweaty and itchy under that beard.
Yeah, my wife keeps asking me how much longer I'm going to have it, and it's probably I would say another week or two, and it's probably going to have to get trimmed up. So.
Yeah, I got shamed out of mine probably about 3 weeks ago. It is what it is.
Yep.
It feels better in the swimming pool, I'll tell you that for sure. Well, hey, everybody out there, we've got TJ Hubbard with us today, head coach, UTEP, down in El Paso, Texas. Just wrapped up a short season as his first year down there in El Paso. Before that, he was head coach, Utah Valley University, great 3-year run, WAC Coach of the Year in 2018. Also was the head coach at University of North Texas. He's got over 200 career dubs under his belt, the D1 level. Been doing this for a long time, looking to take the miners to the next level down there. What brought you to UTEP? What did you find so interesting and special about that school down there?
Yeah, I think the culture, the softball culture here, the community, obviously a beautiful facility, the resources that they had, I just felt like it was a special place, a place that we could build something really terrific and really great. So the opportunity was too much to pass.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a small town kind of down there, right? It's a border community. UTEP is the show in town, your football program, probably fun games to go to. And, I think the people in that community really rally around sports.
Yes, they do. And the softball community is a very tight-knit group of individuals, and they support our program. Even the short amount of time I've been here, they've been nothing but supportive, and we're looking to build something that they can all be proud of.
That's cool. It's an interesting part of the country down there, right? Like El Paso is kind of a hidden little spot. It's tucked in the corner of the far east corner of Texas, on the border of New Mexico, and I mean, you're in your own little world down there.
Yeah, it's a completely different world down here. They have their own set of cultures and values, and it's really neat. I've enjoyed my time here, and my family, even the short amount of time we've been here, they've enjoyed it.
It's cool. I actually have a buddy, Cody Decker, who played pro baseball, and he played for the El Paso Chihuahuas baseball team.
Yeah.
And he moved back. Like, he loves the town of El Paso, and he moved back, and he started a facility there just this past spring. So sounds like a great place to be for a sports team.
It is. I mean, just like you said, UTEP's the only show in town, and so you get a lot of fan support, you get a lot of following. It's just a great place to be.
I mean, you got to travel a lot. Like for your conference, your Conference USA, you're going all over the place. So, right. Like, what are those road trips like?
Yeah, the road trips are pretty grueling. I mean, everywhere we go outside of the New Mexico State, University of New Mexico trips, everything's a plane trip, everything's a flight. So the road trips can be pretty grueling, but, it's part of it. It's part of college athletics right now. Conference USA, unfortunately, is kind of more of a southeastern spread than it is kind of a Midwest or Western spread. So there's some long trips for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was a strange season, right? Cut short, coronavirus. How do you deal with it as a head coach of a team when that shutdown happens? How do you keep players motivated? What kind of things are they doing right now to keep themselves ready for when softball does come back?
Some of the things that we tried to do just as a group with our athletes, we tried to do a bunch of Zoom calls. I invited some of my former players, former coaches, different people I knew in the sport that were, somewhat motivational or inspirational or just had a good story to tell. And we would spend 1 to 2 days a week doing a different conference call or a Zoom call. Just tried to keep those kids engaged.
Yep.
Had a lot of good conversations and talks about, former pro softball Olympic players, sharing their stories. And then the next part was just focus on academically, finish up with what you're doing academically, finish strong. Got a good opportunity to get the GPAs up and the classes that you need accomplish for your degree. And we've just tried to stay as close as we can virtually through this whole pandemic.
It's one of those things, right? And I know you've been doing this for quite a while. You've got a good track record of, one, winning, and two, of keeping your players engaged in the classroom and being great student athletes. I think it's a message that's got to be talked about over and over, the student part of the student athlete. Talk about how important that is and getting grades, and because, life goes on after softball.
Absolutely. And softball is not one of those sports where these individual athletes have a huge opportunity to go do professional level sports, professional level softball. So it's important for them to get an education, get a degree, do something that they know once softball's over, their college athletic eligibility is done, that they can go out and be successful in something else. And my feeling with academics is if you're focused on your academics and you're truly committed to being excellent in the classroom, you'll have the same mentality on the field. And so that's how we kind of connect the two. And it's important. I think these kids need to focus on their classwork and their schoolwork. And softball is an avenue for them to get their education paid for. So they need to stay committed to what they're doing in the education side of it.
It's great stuff. It's so important for every player out there to really focus on that and understand that. I mean, and it's a common theme. I've heard it from coaches from the East to the West Coast. Like, if you're good in the class, most likely you're going to be good on the field. So it's probably what you're looking for in future players out there. Like, what do you look for in a future minor? Besides being good in the classroom, what do they have to have on, like, the field?
The things for me, the biggest thing is just their attitude, their personality. We need to find kids that fit in and buy into the culture and the ethics and the values that we're going to try to teach and instill. So attitude's generally number one. And then obviously hustle, effort, just the way they play the game. I'm a firm believer that talent is not necessarily inherent or genetic. I think it's something you get from just hours and hours of beating on your craft. So I want kids that aren't scared to get in and get their hands dirty and work hard. But their attitude and their effort is usually top for me. And that, to me, that shows in their classwork too. If you have kids that are 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, they have a good attitude. They're committed to what they're doing, both on and off the field.
Yeah, I've been seeing this like meme going around on Twitter recently, and it's been around for a long time, and it says something to the extent of, hard work and effort and a good attitude doesn't cost anything. So like
right.
Every kid can have that.
That's right.
Show up and try your best all the time. Be a good person.
And those are the values that we've been trying to instill the last 5-6 months that I've been on the job. Your attitude, your effort, your care factor for your teammates. Those are the things that we're going to build the program on.
It builds that culture and it builds that team camaraderie. Hey,
Absolutely.
what do you because you've been doing this for a while. What is like what's the coaching style that you think you have that you bring to the table? What do you try and teach your players? What's an approach at the plate? Are you a defensive guy, offensive? What is it?
Well, I tend to probably say I'm more on the offensive side from expertise and coaching styles. Obviously, defense and pitching are important, and it's definitely an integral part of the game. But I tend to focus more on the offensive side. I'm more of an individual instructor. We definitely have some components and some concepts that we all try to share and do. But I'm very much a one-on-one type coach. I like to have a lot of individual dialogue. I think conversation and discussions are what helps growth and development. And I think there's a lot more than one way to do things. I'm not a one-size-fits-all type coach. So very versatile, and I feel like you just have to get to know your players to find out what clicks for them. And I think that comes from the discussion and the dialogue. But definitely kind of a power-hitting emphasis. We like to hit the ball hard. We like to hit the ball far. We're not much of a short game type program. I've never been much of a short game type guy. So we work a lot on the offensive side and try to hit doubles and home runs.
I mean, so like as I really started getting into like fast pitch softball, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was blown away at the way that the game had changed from what I knew it to be
Yeah.
a decade ago, 20 years ago. I mean, it is a power game now. The swings are much different. Kids are getting to the plate with an approach of probably hunting a pitch and trying to like hurt the ball, you know?
Yep.
Like, I love to see that. So it sounds like you play a fun, fast brand of softball.
We get in and get after it. I mean, we don't mess around with a lot of the other, you know, frivolous things. I mean, we get in, we dig in, and we get after it. And I think our training and our approach to practice is what helps us get to that level. We hit a lot. We hit a lot of live. We hit off machines. We do a lot of, you know, as close to game speed training as possible.
You swing those ghost bats, balls are flying all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Helen of Troy softball complex. Everyone out there should get on the UTEP softball website. Check it out. It is a heck of a spot, like nestled in those mountains. One, what's up with the name? Two, tell us about the facilities.
So number one, Helen of Troy is a company here in El Paso. They do a lot of different manufacturing. I believe they're the leader in a lot of the cooling jugs, the different kinds of jugs that you carry the water and the drinks in. They're the original name behind the complex. And yeah, it's a beautiful facility, unbelievable views, both front and back. If you're in the stands, you're looking at the Franklin Mountains. If you're on the field, you're looking back at another set of mountains and canyons. Beautiful scenery, beautiful facility, great place to play. And it was one of the biggest reasons why I accepted the job, just the opportunity to recruit to a facility like that, locker rooms, team meeting rooms. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, everything there, dude. The locker rooms look unbelievable. Like the whole complex. Like you said in the beginning, that school is supporting athletics and doing it the right way.
Absolutely.
So, like, being in that part of Texas, where do you get most of the play? Are most of your players Texas, or are they from all over the place?
I would say a little bit all over. We have a strong showing in El Paso. There's a lot of El Paso natives that are on our team. Obviously, softball is a huge part, kind of in this southwestern part of the U.S. Arizona is another big recruiting hotspot for us, as well as Southern California. We're probably actually closer to Arizona and Southern California than we are other parts of Texas.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of Texas natives on the team, and a lot of kids from Arizona, Southern California.
Good stuff. Back to the field again. Are you guys are higher altitude there, right?
Yes, a little bit. Yes.
And the ball fly. I know,
flies.
Like you can really get it cranking out there.
Yeah, the high altitude mixed in with the wind will blow a lot of times from home plate out to the outfield. Man, those balls will leave orbit in a hurry.
As a hitter, that's what you want right there.
Absolutely. As a pitcher, it's not very much fun, but as a hitter, you're ready to get in there.
Put up runs.
Yeah,
Well, hey, man, dude, we appreciate you joining us today. Great to hear some insight from you, from UTEP softball. You guys got it going in the right direction down there. We're proud to partner with you guys with Easton.
We're glad to be a partner with you. I enjoyed all the support and looking forward to many years of success from both sides.
You got it. Go find a pool to dip into right now, man.
That's right. That's all right.
All right. We'll see you, Teej.
Good seeing you. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.